I have this wooden truck that I picked up at Dollar General. They're unfinished and they have this little cute stand that you can stand them up in. And I'm going to be using our Christmas plaid tissue paper from Roy Cycled. You can get the paper at chalkitupfancy.com. And I'm going to want a more intricate pattern for decoupaging. So I'm using a chalk pencil to trace out the truck. And when I cut it, I'm going to just stay to the right of my pencil mark. So I want my pattern just be a little bit larger than the actual image or the actual truck, and but I don't want it too big, and I also don't want it too short. So I'm now tracing out what I kind of feel where the tire would go, as this is unfinished and it doesn't have a definite line. And then I'm going to cut that out. The tire area is not perfect, but we can deal with that later. So I'm going to be taking my premium angle brush and my 1 hour enamel clear. And I'm going to tape off the area that I do not want any of the tissue paper to glue to in that area, just to protect it. I'm going to start by adding my 1 hour enamel clear. The brush and the enamel can be found at chalkitupfancy.com. I'm going to lay my paper down. And then I'm going to do my second coat of the 1 hour enamel clear. I'm going to put my saran wrap down and use my brayer to make sure it has adhered in all areas. I'm going to remove my tape and allow that to dry. Once dry, the key is to have a razor blade that is newer and it's not dull. Otherwise, this is not a fun experience. So I'm taking a new razor and I'm just cutting in the little cutouts above the tires. And again, the paper was just a little bit bigger. And this is important because when your paper dries after being decoupaged, it shrinks. So that's why I always make sure that there's just a little bit larger, just to make room for shrinking. And then the rest is just basically just being razored off. The paper's hard, so it's a little bit easier to work with at this point in time. Just grabbing all those edges. I'm cutting into the window. And now I'm going to take a small piece of sandpaper and just pass it through all these areas just to clean it up. So the tires I'm going to start with, and using a small art brush, I'm going to be doing this with brown and then black over top of it. Just kind of gives it a marble look. You're probably not going to see it that well. So I first went in with the chocolate, and then while that was wet, I went in with the black. And then this cleaned up the paper area that wasn't perfectly round. It did cover the paper quite nicely. Now I'm going to take my Republic Red for the hearts. And now I need to separate these two hearts. I'm going to start by taking some Snow Owl and just outlining the hearts in the Snow Owl, and then going back with the Republic Red. And it just gives that kind of highlight there, so it separates the two. And I'm doing some of the white in the tire. Some highlighting. Give it the effect as if they are moving. The base I just painted with black. And then at this point, I'm going to cover everything again with 1 hour enamel clear. I'm using my Simply Simmons brush. You can get that at chalkitupfancy.com. And as you're putting the 1 hour enamel all over your paper, it lays down all the paper that, got disturbed from the sanding and the razor blade, and it just lays everything down nicely. And then I allow that to dry. I did put my truck in the stand, and I'm taking this ribbon and I'm gluing it in a V shape. I just took a burgundy and a white, it's like a little spray, and then I glued that to the back of the truck so it looks like it's popping out of the top of the hearts. I had this little wooden heart. I got these at Dollar Tree. Came in a pack of, I believe, 6 or 9. And now with a small art brush, I'm putting X and an O and just doing some white highlighting. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. You can find all the tissue paper, transfers, paint, brushes, chalkitupfancy.com. You can now watch us on our webpage, chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you.